What's up, mi gente? Welcome back to my channel here on Tory Style. First and foremost, I want to say I apologize for not making consistent content here on YouTube. But if you would like to see more from me, be sure to follow me on Instagram. Here's my Instagram handle right here. I update my Instagram account very regularly on a daily basis. So be sure to follow me on Instagram. Also, make sure you follow me on TikTok as well. And here's my TikTok handle right here. So Instagram. So in today's video, as you can tell from the title, living a life of sobriety. And first I'm going to start off talking about like what my addictions were. Then I'll segue into why do I choose to stay on the path to sobriety and how it helps me. And hopefully my story can help you and inspire you to make some better decisions and probably practice sobriety as well. My drug of choice was alcohol. You know, there was a short period in my life where I experimented with marijuana and a few pills like Percocets and stuff, but that was very brief. And I'm super thankful and fortunate that it never became addiction to the point where I had to go to rehab or anything like that. I got off super lucky because I hear so many stories of how many people, you know, fall victim to these things, and that's nothing to take lightly. And I wish everybody the best that's battling these addictions, because I know how tough it could be. So please make sure that you seek help if you're battling any form of addiction. Like I was saying, my addictions were alcohol mainly. And I guess I have to consider myself an alcoholic, because I feel like if I don't, that just gives me some wiggle room to kind of go back and start drinking again. But I wasn't an alcoholic in the sense of I was a raging alcoholic. It wasn't a Jekyll and Hyde situation. Like, I wasn't angry. I just drank for my enjoyment, you know. I used to think that alcohol and drinking, it made me more courageous, but it didn't. It was just it was a false way of thinking that I needed this substance to become a better person, and that's not true. But I did enjoy it, you know. I used to love to drink. I used to drink like Thursday through Sunday, and it was taking a toll on my body at a very early age, in the sense of like, you know, it would always take me longer to recover than someone else, like versus my friend. Like, say for instance, if me and my friend, we were drinking all night, it probably would take him 2 days to get over his hangover. For me, that wasn't the case, and it would probably take me about a week to like fully recover from a hangover. And for those who don't know, I live with a chronic skin condition, a chronic illness known as hidradenitis suppurativa, or HS as we like to say. And I think that's part of the reason why it took me so long to recover because of my HS, is because, you know, my body is at war with itself, living with an autoimmune or anti-inflammatory disease. It's a chronic illness, so my body is always at war with itself. So it took me a long time to process the thought and register the fact that the more that I keep drinking and consuming alcohol, the more it's going to set me back as far as completely healing. And, you know, I can't look at things like people who don't live with a medical condition, you know, because that's not the same to them. You know, their body is not going to react the same way my body is going to react to alcohol. And that's a big reason why I choose to stay on the path of sobriety, is because of my HS, you know, because one of the many symptoms of HS is fatigue. So when I would drink, the fatigue from being hungover would just linger around even longer. My theory is because I live with HS, and one of the main symptoms is fatigue. So when you combine the fatigue from a hangover and the fatigue that I get from living with HS, like, to me, that was a recipe for disaster. And that's ultimately the main reason why I decided to quit drinking alcohol, is because of my medical condition. You know, I don't want to continue to put things in my body that's going to, stop me from becoming the best version of myself. Also, another reason I decided to quit drinking is because, studies have shown that alcoholism can be hereditary. And my father, my biological father, he was an alcoholic. And I don't want to be anything like that, man, especially an alcoholic. So all the times that I was drinking alcohol, that was in the back of my mind. Like, I hope I don't turn out to be like my father, because he was an alcoholic. Well, that's the second reason I decided to stop drinking completely. And the last reason I would say is I found my purpose. For many years, there was one question that used to keep me up at night. That question was, what is my purpose? Now, let me explain. I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm saying. It's not that I felt like my life wasn't purposeful, because I always knew my life had purpose and my life was meaningful, but really didn't know what was my designated purpose. Like, I'm one of those people that feel like, we all have a designated purpose in life, and only you can be the person to decide what that purpose is. My purpose is to help fellow HS warriors heal from emotional aspect, because like I said, living with hidradenitis suppurativa is a very daunting illness. HS impacts every aspect of someone's life, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So once I found out my purpose is to help other warriors heal from emotional aspect, that gave me enough dedication and drive and discipline to stay on the path of sobriety, because the way I see it is, I got too much to lose. Back in the day, I've always had some direction, but I kind of felt like I was kind of floating through life, but I had a good sense of direction. I kind of knew where I was going, but I don't know. Sometimes I felt like I was lost, but like I said, having my purpose keeps me on track and keeps me stay the course, because I know there's many people out in the world that value what I say and value me speaking about living with HS, because a lot of people choose not to speak about HS because it is a very embarrassing illness, and a lot of people are ashamed of that. And me, as an advocate, it's my job, part of my job, to make people feel less alone. People that's living with HS, it's part of my job to help you feel less alone and say to you, hey, you're not the only one living with this. You can manage this. It is manageable, despite what you may think. It's going to take a lot of hard work and time. And I feel like if I was to continue to drink, I feel like I wouldn't be so purpose driven, and I wouldn't be the person that I am today. That's basically going to conclude this video. Thank you for anyone who's watching. Like I said, I'm sorry I don't upload consistently like other YouTubers, but if you want more of me, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and leave some comments below. Let me know if this video helped you in any way, because I appreciate the most is when you guys leave me comments and said my story was able to help you in any type of way, and I was able to inspire you to get on the path of becoming a better you. So until next time, I'm out, baby.